Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 20, and today we are starting a brand new season with the Scots as we begin season 2 and life in the Premier League. Yes, in the last episode we ended season 1 with 3 wins out of our 3 final championship games and gained promotion to the Premier League, finishing in 2nd place. So absolutely fantastic news. And of course, I ended the last episode as well, right at the back of the last episode, by saying I was going to sort out the main problem we had in season 1. Well, not the main problem in season 1, but the main problem towards the end of season 1, which was the contract problems off camera. But in the end, I decided to basically show you this right away in today's episode, and so not to start in season 2, but officially end season 1 and show you exactly what happened with the contract situation, because it was quite important, of course, and it was a theme of last year's problems too. So many players just 1 year left on their deal. I thought I'd better show you what's going on and not just, well, you know, at the end of the day, if I didn't show you this, you wouldn't know what players are staying and what players are leaving heading into season 2. So I offered quite a lot of contracts before we ended season 1, loads of new deals, loads of extensions on contracts getting offered come the end of season 1. Of course, the main one, as you guys know, was our top scorer last year, Stevie McLean, 29 goals in the championship, our top scorer. He was out of contract in the summer. I gambled in the January transfer window, didn't give him a new deal. He could have left on a free, he didn't. He wanted to stay at McDermott Park, and that was confirmed as well at the end of season 1 as he accepted his contract. So the other players that got given contracts, they're quite important players like Craig, for example, and Wotherspoon too in the first team as well. But of course, Macca, top scorer in the championship, he's the main guy, he's the main boy, and he accepted the contract, which is great as well. So basically, loads of players did get given new deals, although a few players are leaving, and I thought I'd better show you as well so you know exactly what's going on. The players that are leaving and not making an appearance in season 2 are Foster, Mackay, Swanson, Comrie, Miller, and Scobby. So a few of those players played pretty important minutes for us last season. Scobby and Miller, really the two main ones there. They've not been given contract extensions, and all those players are leaving and won't feature in season 2 onwards with St Johnstone. So I did say I was going to sort it out off camera, but at the end of the day, you guys need to see exactly what's going on. Otherwise, you'll have no idea what players are staying and what players are leaving, right? So season 1 ends there then, and we do indeed begin season 2 in today's episode of Club and Country with our Scot. And as you'll see, to start season 2, we take a look at our transfer budget. Once I get rid of these emails here, we take a look at our transfer budget, and it's £2.2 million. So it's not terrible. I mean, it is terrible. Why am I lying? Why am I lying in season 2? Seriously, of course it's terrible. It's £2.2 million. Not even that. It says £2.2 million. It's actually £2.196 million. So it is pretty terrible in comparison to the other 19 teams of the Premier League, no doubt about it. But I guess it's not as bad as it possibly could have been. And you can see the objectives for this season as well. Of course, I don't really care about the off-the-pitch objectives ever, so forget about those. But the on-the-pitch objectives, of course, as you'd expect in the Premier League, just avoid relegation. And in the FA Cup, reached a round of 32 stage. Of course, last season, we reached a round of 16 stage before being knocked out by my other career mode team, Middlesbrough. So just avoid relegation in our first season in the Premier League, and the board will be happy. And to be honest, I think we can do it. Now, this is a poor squad to begin season 2. There's no denying that whatsoever from my part. But if you watched Saving Bray last year in FIFA 16, I kept them up. I kept the Irish side up, and they had one of the poorest sides in the game at the time. Now, this is still a very, very poor team. I'm not going to try and deny it. Not going to lie to you like I did with the transfer budget a minute ago there. It's not a good team, but I still believe I can keep them up in the Premier League. Now, of course, it is going to be tougher than my last 2 club and countries. I said that at the end of season 1 as well. With Racing Santander and Paris FC, the first seasons were relatively easy. In season 1 with St Johnstone, although we gained promotion, it was a lot tougher for us. And in Racing Santander in FIFA 15's Club and Country in season 1, we finished in the top half of the table. With Paris FC in season 2 and the first season in the top flight of French football, we finished in 3rd place. With St Johnstone, we're not going to be doing that. There's absolutely no way we're qualifying for Europe for season 3. That's probably, I'll say it's probably going to happen. It's almost certainly not going to happen. But can we keep them up? I definitely think we can. The team is not as bad as you may think. It's not a great team, I know. There's no denying that. There's not even one player that's 70 overall plus. It's going to be an extremely tough challenge to keep the Scots in the top flight, but I believe I can do it. And you saw the squad report right there in the squad and how it's looking as well. And I do believe that going forward, the future with St Johnstone is really, really bright. There's some great young talent here. The present isn't as bright, but it's, it's not terrible, and the future's really bright with St Johnstone. So we've been keeping in the Premier League in the first season, in our debut year, in the top flight. I'm pretty confident of our chances going forward of turning this side into a really, really good one, which is, of course, the main objective of this series. So here's hoping for a good debut in the Premier League, and I guess we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, we did get a pre-season tournament invite as well a couple of days after the season started, and I just picked the one with the most prize money. I say it every single time, but this is all I do: pick the one with the most prize money and just simulate all the games. It's crazy to think that 2 years ago, or was it last year? I think it was last year actually, this was like a headline feature for FIFA. New in FIFA 16 pre-season tournaments, and I'm like, yep, okay, simulate all the games, done, fair enough. I really don't care. But anyway, we got ourselves into the pre-season tournament. Now we did win the first game as well by 2-1, which was really good to see. And again, it is worth noting that with a small budget with a club, that pre-season tournaments can be quite important. I still don't care about them, I'll be honest. I still think they're not a waste of time, but something which I'm not going to focus too much time on. But either way, we'll see what happens as we get ourselves into the pre-season tournament. And also a big game for John Ruddy as well. Of course, the summer transfer window open. Now we've started a new season. A big game in for Ruddy. He's probably not going to be our number one for the foreseeable future. Logan Reed, the academy graduate, 17 years old, has taken his place, but I still don't want to sell him. And I certainly don't want to sell this guy either. Stevie McLean, who was courted by Dundee FC for 350 grand. He said, come back. Well, technically I was going to say come back to Scotland. Come back to the SPL, Stevie. That's where you play your best football. I was like, mate, he scored 29 goals in the championship last season. Hands off. If you really want him, give us his true valuation, which is 999,999 grand and 990 pounds as well. You can have him if you give us that much money, because he's worth that much to the club. He's so important. He's indispensable, despite being 34 years old right now. I don't think I've ever had a player being this old, but so good and so valuable to our team. And unsurprisingly, Dundee said that they weren't going to match it. They said they don't believe he's worth that much. I was like, well, I think he is, but he's not going to leave. He's going to stay at McDermott Park as well. But still, we did manage to get through our group as well, which is great to see. We finished undefeated, actually. 2 wins and 1 draw. Was it 1 win and 2 draw? No, 2 wins and 1 draw from our first 3 games in pre-season tournament. So we did get ourselves through the group, which is fantastic, and went into the semi-finals as well. Of course, when the pre-season tournament's going on, I don't really do any transfer business at all. Just wait until it's all over and then look to start to sign some players. But as you can see in the semi-finals, we got through that as well. We beat this team, Kayserispor, on penalties by 4-3. So that's fantastic. Went through to the tournament, pre-season tournament final. Got a bit more money for that as well. Always good to get a bit extra scratch. And again, as I said, I don't really care about the tournament prize money, but as you say, I don't care about this pre-season tournament, but getting more money is always a good thing. And for a team with a small budget, that is really helpful. And also a big game for Paul Patton as well. Now, I accepted this deal. This guy's 30 years old, 64 overall. You may wonder who he is. You didn't see him feature in any of our games last season. He's one of the 2 foreign players that are still at the club, and they were loaned out last year as they had just recently joined the club. So he's going to go to Exeter, totally fine with that. And as you can see in the pre-season tournament final, we didn't get our first piece of silverware of the series. We took it to penalties, but unlike in the semis, we didn't win the shootout, lost it, and that's a bit of a shame. But still, not too big of a deal. Again, it would be nice to get the maximum prize money available, but I don't really care too much. So Paul Patton did go to Exeter there for 250 grand, I think it was, something like that. That's totally fine with me. Now there's only 1 foreign player left in our squad. That's Coulson, and once he goes, we will have a team full of Scottish players and only Scottish players, and that is absolutely fantastic and necessary as well. But still, I did decide to put in a bid for a new player as well. Now, of course, we have very little money with St Johnstone, even with the bit of prize money gained from the pre-season tournament. But this is one guy I have had my eye on since the start of last season. Kalen Patterson, who plays at Tynecastle right now for Heart. He's a right back. He's 6'2". He's 22 years old, 70 overall. And I got to say, he's got some really nice physical stats, some very, very good stats. He's quick, he's strong. He's got high aggression as well, which I find quite favourable in defenders too. And he looks like a really decent player, and he's got one of my favourite traits in the game, the giant throw-in trait. So we offer Hearts a deal. They rejected the first one. We give them a second deal though, and we shall wait and see what they say. And as you can see, they came back to us, rejected our valuation bid, but did accept our second bid, which was £1.6 million, 200 grand over that valuation. So we offer Patterson a contract. We shall wait and see what he says, and hopefully we'll bring bring into McDermott Park for Season 2. And again, like last year, we can't really afford to sign too many players because our budget is quite small, but this is someone we can afford. It's someone who's young enough to have potential for the future, and it's someone that will be a really good asset to our squad as well. Xander Clark got sold as well there. One of our goalkeepers is gone, and that's totally fine with me. Still, we did send Jack Reed out as well on another 9-month mission to Scotland to look for some new players, and as you can see, he's picked up 4 pretty decent players here in the first scout report, which is really good. Last season, I was a little bit disappointed with the lack of quality players, but 4 players straight away here that could have some pretty decent potential. So we signed one of the players to our academy straight away and leave the other 3 for another month's worth of scouting. But as you'll see, Rob Ross, the guy we picked up, check this guy out. 62 overall, 69 to 94 potential so far, 15 years old, 6'3". I gotta say, fair play, Jack. Straight away, you pulled your socks up and you've started to deliver right now. It's good to see. So Rob Ross looks pretty decent there. I don't want to jinx it, but he looks pretty decent, and hopefully when he turns 16, he'll get promoted and have some decent potential as well. And I think as well, he's the first player that Jack's picked up for our academy that starts off 60 plus for overall. Very, very good to see, and improving all the time with our scout. That's great. But anyway, Kalen Patterson did accept his contract as well, so a new signing made here with St Johnstone straight away in the summer transfer window. 70 overall, 22 years old, and again, look at his stats. Really, really good. Physically, he's an absolute beast. He's 6'2". I think the guy could probably play centre back as well as right back too, so that's always handy. Versatility in a small squad. So really happy with that signing right there for £1.6 million, and I think he'll be a smart signing for us playing in the right back role. We did also see that one of our youth players too hit 60 overall, so I checked out his potential, and it's Allister Stewart. Unfortunately though, status, there's no tag whatsoever, no showing great potential, exciting prospect, or has potential to be special. That's a bit of a shame, but still, could still be alright for the squad, and I guess we'll have to wait and see. And also a big came for Michael Coulson as well from Crewe. They want to take him to Gretzky Road for £190,000. He's 29 years old, 62 overall, but of course this is one of the other foreign players we had in the squad. We just sold Paul Patton. This guy is the final foreign player listed as a St Johnstone player. We accept the deal, and as you'll see, he gets sold as well, so I'm really happy with that. Now there are no foreign players in our side, and that means that we have a full Scottish squad, and that is absolutely fantastic because of course going forward that is necessary as we can't use foreign players in competitive games. So this is our squad then going into the first Premier League game in Season 2, and you'll see that in tomorrow afternoon's episode as well. Funnily enough, it's against Swansea, so a battle of the 2 non-English sides in the Premier League right now. The first game will indeed be into tomorrow's episode, and as you can see, we end today's episode with the squad report. You can see how the squad is currently looking going into our first game in the Premier League, and it's okay, you know, as I said at the start of the episode, it's not great, but it's not as bad as it possibly could be. There's only one 70 plus overall player in our squad, and that is our newest signing as well, Kalen Patterson, and so far our only signing in Season 2. We still may be able to make 1 or 2 more signings before the summer transfer window slams shut. I'm not predicting any though, and as you'll see in just a moment's time, our squad going into the second season is a 2.5-star team, so tons of progression still needed with St Johnstone. We're making some good work though. There's some good academy players coming through. There's a lot of good potential in this St Johnstone side, and it's looking pretty decent. So that will end today's episode of Club and Country, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of Club and Country, then please leave a like, as likes are of course very much appreciated, and it really helps the channel grow as well. Much love to you, and have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the second episode of the new season of Club and Country very soon.